It's time for another musical interlude. Let's get started. Talking with people with music in their genes, their blood, and in their soul. You are watching Musical Interlude. Hi, and welcome to Musical Interlude. I am your host, Casey Bell, and today's guest is Zach Mack. Let's get the show started. All right, so my first question for you is, when did you first find your talent or your gift or your love for music?
Well, it kind of started when I was like 10 or 11. I started off making like electronic music. I always liked music since I was a kid, but I kind of wanted to start seeing what I could do and like see how creative I could possibly be. So it kind of started when I was really 11 through like 13 is when I started learning guitar, and then I just carried on from then, just kept playing and stuff, experimenting with different things.
Awesome. So when did you actually get to the point where you said to yourself, I'm going to actually make music and I'm going to go after this dream I have of being a musician?
I think it really started probably, I think I finally realized it my junior, senior year, so probably like when I was 18, 19, I was really set on trying to do something.
And what did you do? What was some of the things you did to become this musician you are?
Well, I kind of I've networked with different musicians, kind of talked to them, like worked with a couple just to like see what we could do, and then I just kind of taught myself through like YouTube videos and stuff, like how to mix and all this stuff. I started recording myself playing, and then I would just double over with other instruments because I play different instruments. So just kind of experimented with a bunch of different stuff.
First of all, talk about your heavy alternative folk. What is that, and how did you come to that?
So I was listening to a lot of, when this album was in the works, I was listening to a lot of Pink Floyd and like Bob Dylan, Mac DeMarco, Sublime. I was just listening to a bunch of different types of music, but like I really loved the way Bob Dylan kind of, he used imagery in his songs and stuff like that. So I kind of took the whole like folk style. I kind of wanted to make it like a dark, like the finger picking with acoustic guitar. I kind of wanted to make it darker with like a kind of alternative side where there was different instruments involved too. But I really like the finger picking and the kind of telling stories, like drawn out stories over a bunch of different songs. Yeah, I just wanted to make a mixture of different things, I guess.
Awesome. Talk about your album. I can't even start. How do you pronounce the name of the album, first of all? What is the inspiration behind that?
Well, I abbreviated it. So I had an album before this called How the Times Have Changed, and that was just an acoustic version of all the same songs. It was just acoustic guitar and vocals. And then with this album, I abbreviated it HTTHCX Dreams because it stands for How the Times Have Changed, and it's supposed to be Into Dreams. Because the other songs on the album, I think there's like, I want to say like 7 more songs on the album. That was from like an EP I had released on SoundCloud called Dreams. So I just kind of wanted to make it How the Times Have Changed into Dreams because that EP was kind of experimental. So I wanted to make it so it's like, alternative folk kind of into this, all of a sudden it goes into dreams, which is like this psychedelic state of all the same songs, of like the style, I guess. So, and then that's kind of the direction I'm going music-wise with my next couple projects, is kind of like a psychedelic-ish, alternative folk feel.
Awesome. And what would you say, I'm sure every song is inspired by something different, but what is your main inspiration behind this album?
Well, it was mainly every song, like I didn't, a lot of the songs I didn't really write in the moment. It was all me sitting down, pressing record, and I was like, I'm going to say what's on my mind. I'm going to say how I feel. And I just, with this album and some of the other projects I'm releasing, like, I just want people to know they're not alone if they ever feel not okay. Because I hate when people have to feel alone, like they're the only ones in the world that feel a certain way. So I was kind of trying to do something that was like real and something people can relate with if they're ever going through tough troubles like heartbreak, anything, like just like not being able to find your place, not really knowing your identity. I just wanted to make something people could relate with so they don't feel alone. So yeah, it's mainly like inspired by like mental health and self-care in a way.
Awesome. And how has the times we're in now caused you to change how you present your music? Because obviously you can't really, as much as you used to, go to the theater or the concert hall or the bar to present your music. So what have you been doing differently?
I've kind of just had to reach out on different platforms and kind of promote my stuff online. I've been wanting to set up some like live streaming shows, but I just haven't got around to it because I've been working and stuff. But I think hopefully once things start opening back up, because I haven't had a chance to really perform live yet. So I think I'm really looking forward to trying to reach out to different local places and trying to play like little shows here and there once things start opening back up. But until then, I've just been kind of reaching out online, trying to get the name out there a little bit. But I keep working, really. I've just been working on music mostly, just working on my repertoire, I guess.
Awesome. So you're I guess you can say a new artist.
Yeah, I've had stuff out for a couple of years, but I just never really pushed it. I guess I never really tried to like push myself to like get my name out there, but I'm really trying now because I want people to hear what I have to say. In a way.
Awesome. And so you just said you're still working on your repertoire. Are you working on another album at the moment?
Oh yeah, I actually just released a 12-track album called Paranormal Frequencies on Friday, April 2nd, and I'm working on releasing another album called Phases on April 16th. Is hopefully when that will be out, and then I'm planning to have another album by the end of April too. Just little small projects here and there, but I already have them done. I just have to finish some stuff up for them.
Awesome. And would you say you, because there's a lot of people out there, you said you don't want people to feel like they're alone. There's a lot of people out there who want to do something in their life, but unfortunately they don't have the support from their families. Mm-hmm. Would you say that you had the support from your family?
Oh yeah, I definitely have support of my family and friends. Yeah, they've really helped me realize my potential in a way. It's just, and honestly too, all it takes is that one person to tell me, hey, that track made me feel something, made me feel like a little bit better, and then that just like pushes me harder, because then it's just like, oh, if I made one person feel a little bit better, maybe I can make somebody else too.
And what encouraging words or advice could you give someone who unfortunately does not have that, support?
Yeah, I would say keep going. Like, don't ever stop what you want to do, because if it's your passion, if it's something that makes you feel good, if it's something that you really believe in, then you're going to do great things one day. You just have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing yourself as hard as you can. And if it's something you enjoy, then nobody can take that from you, because that's you, and that's pure. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Of course, always.
So the last question I have for you, I always call this a pretend question, because you can give an answer of someone who may be deceased, someone who's alive, someone well-known, or someone unknown. But if there's anyone in the music business, writer, composer, singer, producer, anyone in the music business that inspires you, that you would like to collaborate with? Maybe meet, maybe work on a project together. Who would that be and why?
I would have to say Mac Miller. I always wanted to work with him ever since I like grew up, because I started listening to his music, and then I loved the way he talked, because I think a lot of his music was the same way, especially with his latest like 2 albums, like Swimming in Circles. It was all stuff he was going through in his head. He didn't feel okay. He didn't feel all right, and I think he was trying to do the same thing I am now. And he was trying to speak to people who didn't feel okay. And he always seemed like a pretty cool guy. And I always wanted to be able to work with him one day and be so cool to just vibe with Mac Miller in the studio, just work on some songs. Like, I could play guitar over one of his tracks. Like, that was just always a dream. But I definitely take so much from him, and I'm just trying to carry his message of self-love and self-care, because I think that's really important, especially nowadays.
To sleep without you next to me. They say we should live responsibly, but all of us out here are drinking freely. Instead of coming out of here, we'll be buried 6 feet under in the ground. Kid in the class finally comes out of his shell, and he turns right to the teacher with a grin. Says, you gotta let me pass. Then he turns back and walks right out the class. It's stereotypically a never-ending trilogy. Overdue, la da 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 da, long. He's trying to find some help, but he's stuck here in hell. None of them want help, but he's crawling out of his shell. He's trying to find some help, but he's stuck here right in hell. None of them want help, but he's crawling out of his shell. This negativity is driving this train hard to insanity. He's trying to find some help, but he's stuck here in hell. None of them want to help, but he's crawling.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's episode. I want to thank our guest, Zach Mack, and of course you, the audience, for taking the time to view. Have yourself a great day. Have a great week.